Hi guys and girls, John Moore back with you again, and this time we're just giving you an update on how far I am on the M4A3E8 Sherman Fury from the film Fury, made by Italeri and finally made by me. Anyway, I opened the box, did the inbox review, put it aside, started working my M group thingy-majiggy. Got to a certain stage in that night, so I had to put it away because I had to prime certain areas before I can get in and do the tracks. And you know yourself, you got all these bits and pieces you got to do here, there, and everywhere. So it's up for a while. That's taking a break for a while. I was sitting down and I said, I'm making out start on this. So I made a start and I just got carried away, and I think I sat down for quite some time. I don't know, I wasn't clock watching, and I got quite a lot done. And I started off, I got the tracks on and everything, all the bogies done, all nice and done. Yeah, no fit issues whatsoever with that. I've left off all the little handles and things like that. It's just purely I want to get that primed. I haven't the side skirts on either because I have the tracks fitted now, which is unusual for me. I usually fit the tracks much later. But the skirts are going on the outside of this. So if I say put everything on and then paint, there's areas that I just won't be able to get into. So that basically I have it there. If you look in as well, I don't know whether you can see in or not. Yes, you can. This here is a magnet, just quite large magnet, that I just super glued into place, because when I put the tank down like that, it was kind of not sitting right. It was like that, if you know what I mean. They were pure. It was pure light in its feet, a bit airy-fairy, and by putting the weight on it, everything just kind of sank down into place. It was quite nice. Also did the turret, a little bit of green stuff there, just a little bit of filler around the seam, the join seam. It wasn't actually that bad, as you can see from where the actual filler actually went in. This is just to be sanded off. Very, very, very minute. I haven't actually finished the sanding, and I have to do another little bit sanding and get that nice and thing. But the seam line has gone out of it, thank God. Anyway, that's okay. So that's about as far as I've got, which is, when you consider it is quite a lot. There is tons more to go on to this, absolutely tons more. But I wanted to get it to this stage, prime it, so I can get in around those areas, and then continue on. And I didn't want to sort of my first video to sort of be, oh look, here it's finished. So this is basically where I am. As I said in the inbox review, it's a pity it doesn't come with figures, and I figured out why, really, to a certain degree. That if it had to give figures and to keep it as the Fury tank, they'd probably have to pay extra in royalties for using the image of Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf and all the other guys. So they just basically pay the rights for the film. Use the film, because if you can see in the thing, it gives it on the box art, it gives the Fury tank driving away from after it hitting off the Tiger. But anybody who's seen the film, that's not young Brad. So they've basically paid for the use of the Fury, thing like that, and they haven't thing. So by putting another figure in there, it would not be the Fury tank. I know you can. I've looked online. I found the figures for them, and they're about 25 sterling per piece. Now at 5 of them, that's what? That's 125 quid sterling just for the figures for this tank. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going there. So I'm keeping it as just a little standalone thing. Like I said, I have no room for dials at the moment. I got to rearrange the old household. But getting back onto the figures thing, Neil McKay very, very kindly offered me figures. He said he did the Italeri one. I said, oh, by the way, did it come with figures? I was just making an inquiry rather, you know, saying that it would be much nicer with the figures. But the Tamiya one, which Neil did, isn't actually the Fury. It's just an EZ8 Sherman. But this being the only Fury one, as in it gives the decals for the Fury one, it gives the extra bits of stowage. Some of them are quite good. Some of them are actually usable. One or two of them, you know, I think I do a better job on the milliput, but I'll keep them side by side and see how they are. Now, with that done, and thanks to Neil anyway for the offer, really do appreciate it. Check out his channel, Neil McKay. Also, I'm going to have to move the camera, so you'll have to excuse me. I'm going to take it off. It's my little tripod selfie stick thingy. And Joe from Joe's Model Kits, he asked me, how do I hold my camera when I'm doing my reviews, the fact that I can use both hands, because he's only just started his channel. And Joe, it's as simple as this. If you just bear with me, there's a vice held to the table like that, and in it I've got a selfie stick. Now this selfie stick, they're cheap as chips. It was only $1.50 inside a discount store. It doesn't really matter because there's not very many Irish people here, and they're deals. But in England they're known as Poundland. It's the exact same company, and I'm sure that Poundland have them for £1. Can't go wrong. And this little bit up here is dead handy. I also got this little one, which is the camera tripod, and it came with another one of these things on it. Now, they are cheap, they're tatty, they're not great quality of them, and it broke. One of them broke. The one for this one broke. But that'll come off and I can attach it to this. You can put it anywhere you want. And when I'm doing it from the side, I just have it like that, camera on it, and sits in there, and I can get the side views. So that's basically how I do my setup. Nothing, no expensive camera stands, no expensive cameras or anything like that. I use a Samsung Galaxy S4 for all my recordings, and everything else I upload to Google Photos, and from there straight into YouTube, so it's nothing extravagant about that. Another thing then as well, I wanted to show Steve Mottram. Steve very, very, very kindly gave me a little, this thing, little rotary tool. And instead of having the box and under the table and things like that, I decided to make this little item. And what it is basically just an ordinary, one of these cheap plastic they're actually shot glasses, plastic shot glasses, which I got in deals again. I think there's about 20 of them for $1.50, which is in England would be 20 of them for £1, and super glued a magnet to it. Right, so that's super glued to the magnet. Magnet clips onto a piece of metal, which I have there because I keep my scalpels and things on the magnet, and any other little bits and pieces that are handy. And that sits in there like that. Just stuck an old decal that I had, spare one on the front of it, so it looks nice. So there she is, in place, right beside where I can grab it at any stage. So thank you, Steve, for that little item, and I do appreciate it. And for Joe, there you go, get yourself a little selfie stick. How you hold it to the table or whatever, you could say even sellotape it to the back of a chair. I just lucky that I had this little vice. Don't know where I got it. I've had it for quite some time. It's not an expensive one, but it is, you know, it's got the rubberized here, so it is quite handy. That's my cup of coffee. I'll have that in a few minutes. Mrs. M just kindly dropped that into me. So there's my update on the M4A3E8 Sherman Fury and where I am with it at the moment. Like I said, it's so far it's been a nice build. It gives you two options of tracks. The tracks unusual. In, you know, I mean, the rubber tracks usually they glue with the ordinary contact cement. These didn't work with contact cement. They only work with super glue. It does say so in the instructions. So I didn't even bother trying the ordinary contact glue. I did super glue them. Went together perfect. When I installed them, they're grand. I know Jens. Yesterday I looked at one of Jens's videos and he was saying about the he replaced with Indie-Link tracks, and he put the same number of tracks that were on with the model kit, and that if he had put the model ones on, that the tension would have been unbelievable. But with this, there's, you know, if there's going to be skirts on it, you're not going to see the sag anyway, although there isn't really a sag on Sherman ones, but they're actually quite nice, and if you know, you could get a sag on them quite easily if you wanted to. Oh, excuse me. So that's my update on the Sherman. At least now I can go on and I can prime this, continue on a bit more, add the skirts and all the little add-ons bit by bit. So there we go. Next time you see her, hopefully she'll be in a much better state, and catch you up next time. So, John Moore signing off, and don't forget, enjoy your modelling, be nice to each other, and hope you had a good weekend. I did. It's Monday afternoon now, and I'm settling into a nice little start of the week. So I've a busy week ahead of me. I've got that finished to, well, I wouldn't say finish. I'm in no rush with it. That to play around with, and I've got the M group build as well, the IT1 missile tank, which I'm playing with, which is quite nice. It's kind of weird. There's a weird little turret on it. I'll do an update video later on, and sort of a channel update, and I'll show basically what I'm up to. Okay, so guys, catch you up in the next one. John Moore. Till then, be nice to each other. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Don't forget, press the old like button if you like it. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. Say you don't like it, say it's a lot of bull. Stop rabbiting on, John. Anyway, thanks guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and just be happy.